All right, we're live here at Levi's Stadium under some sprinkles. It's going to rain for probably the first large chunk of the game, and then it's supposed to clear up toward the very end. So that's obviously something to keep in mind, considering the fact that all quarterbacks struggle more in wet weather, but really the majority of Brock Purdy's bad games, and there have been so few of them, have come in wet weather. And by bad games, I mean inefficient games. So we talk about the Cleveland game, week 6 in 2023, the Packers game here in the playoffs, but he turned it around to win it for the 49ers with a drive, divisional round last season, and then the Buffalo game was played in snow. There was also a humid game inside in Minnesota this year where the ball slipped out of Brock Purdy's hands. It's not like it's only Brock Purdy who has struggled with weather. I think Matthew Stafford would struggle as well. So it's just something to keep in mind as far as conditions go. And you can see the skies here. They are gray. It was raining hard as I was driving down from the city. And I can tell you that the forecast is calling for rain basically through the first half of the game. And it's light rain, not heavy rain. It's only sprinkling right now. Then it's supposed to clear up. Why don't we take a look at the field today? I think conditions are still really good. 49ers are going to be doing some of their dynamic warm-ups here. They're getting cameras ready on the goalposts at Levi's Stadium. And we're going to see if we can find Jimmy Garoppolo. I actually just saw him on the field right before I went live. He was talking with Richard Sherman, who's here for Thursday Night Football. Speaking of Sherman, KJ Wright, former Seahawks linebacker, was Sherman's old teammate in Seattle. So we'll see if Sherman and KJ Wright end up talking here in a little bit. But let's start to make the loop. Jake Brendel, Colton McKivitz getting ready for the 49ers. They're not on camera yet here on the Thursday Night Football set, so maybe I'll be able to walk behind it. We got Greg Papa right up here. Greg Papa joins our pregame lives every once in a while. Probably get him to go again. I should get the other mic here for Greg Papa. Gonna open up the second mic. I'm live again. How's it going?
What's going on, David?
I got a mic for you.
You do?
Yeah, I'm turning it on. There you go.
Should I pin it on me?
You can if you want.
Is it weatherproof?
It's what? Yeah, it's only sprinkling right now, so we're fine. I had the second one in my pocket when I saw you. I just saw Jimmy Garoppolo.
I know. I came out to see him.
He was talking with Richard Sherman.
Yeah, I saw that. I came over to their TV and I wanted you to talk to him.
I haven't. I just saw him from the top. I just got down.
Did he go back in? So the game back on September the 22nd, when they were up 14-0, Rams face a 4th and 6. They called a fake punt.
Oh, this year's September. Okay, yeah, so I was thinking the Jimmy game. Yeah, the fake punt changed that game.
But I was a Jimmy game. I thought that Garoppolo, if the Niners keep their punt safe to keep their defense on the field there, and Bosa's playing in, and not Chris Conley, my thought was they're going to go up 17, 21-0. They're going to pull Stafford. Jimmy's going to come in. They're going to go 0-3. They wound up losing their next 2. They trade Stafford. They trade Cooper Kupp, and now they come in at 7-6. So I was thinking of Jimmy a lot in that game, and we'll see. Good to see him back here.
Well, the Rams were so overmatched in that game. It was such a bad loss. They didn't have Cooper, they didn't have Puka, and their line was a mess, right? That fake punt is the only way that they were going to get back in that game.
Well, then they took over, and they, Tutu Atwell played well. Not just the yardage. He drew a couple of deep pass interference calls, one on Yadam, the one in the end zone on Renardo Green when he got in, and the punt return, the missed field goal. There was a series. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. If Ronnie Bell catches the ball, they win the game. It's not like the Super Bowl where you could flip one of 6 different plays, the Niners win the game, like the Super Bowl. But it didn't happen that way. So we're here where we are now, and the thing that's cool about this matchup, I think late in 19, they had kind of the Niners were going to go, but they wanted to be the 1 seed. And then the Rams didn't go. Remember they played that Saturday night game, the next to last game of the year?
19 with a Fred Warner pick 6.
Fred Warner pick 6. Jimmy completed 2 3rd and 16s.
Yeah,
one to Emmanuel Sanders,
and one to Kendrick Bourne.
Bourne against Taylor Rapp. That was kind of my thought on this game is one of these teams is going. Not, or maybe not, but not both. It's either us or them, but it's very unlikely both teams go. So obviously the Niners need this game to survive. If they win the game, then you got to battle at 7-7. So this is one of the most important. Yeah, I think Seattle can lose to Green Bay.
They're underdogs
at home in Minnesota. Yeah, but you got to go play the game on the field. Anyway, this is one of the most important Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay matchups just to get into the playoffs, because more than likely they both aren't making it.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg.
Want this back?
I want my mic back. That'd be great.
Go give me Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm going to go. Where is he? Is he here?
Number 11.
That's Richard Sherman. I see. Look at Richard Sherman and
Andrew Whitworth.
KJ Wright.
Right.
KJ
I
Wright.
talked
Yeah,
to
the
Sherman.
former SEAL. All right. Thanks, Greg. There's Sherman and KJ Wright, as promised. We knew they were going to be meeting up on the field, former Seattle Seahawks teammates. And now we'll make our way through. Right by Ryan Fitzpatrick. We're going to go by the 49ers bench now. It's fairly dry right now. Again, we're expecting rain for about the first half of this game. This is always my favorite part. We get to see Shanahan's headset. I think that they actually have the headsets closed so they don't get wet, though. So the headsets would be in the communication box right here. Our goal is to find Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't think he's out on the field anymore, so I don't know if this is going to work. They've got all the Thursday Night Football camera set up, that's for sure. Remember, it's GGB, Golden Gate Bridge, Garendo, Greenlaw, Bosa.
I was like, dude, I know.
All likely returning. Now, we're going to get confirmation on Bosa at 3:45, which is obviously not yet. So I'm coming up on the Rams entrance here at Levi Stadium to the field. And I'm still looking. I think Jimmy's gone back in. So I'm not holding my breath on Jimmy Garoppolo. I have tweeted a picture or a video of him and Richard Sherman talking. Sherman now talking to KJ Wright. So let's find the end zone here. This is where the Rams are going to come out. It's their tunnel. So, as Greg just told you, this is a big, big football game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 49ers playoff chances all but extinguished if they can't win today. And the Rams take a massive hit if they lose today. So McVay and Shanahan will be going at it. I posted that video in front of the Yoda and Harrison Ford statues talking about McVay and Shanahan. I've talked about the injury returns. The 49ers played really, really good football last week against the Chicago Bears. And now it's a quick turnaround. But the Rams, they beat the Bills. So it takes really good football to beat an excellent team like the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a hell of a game. And so much of it's going to depend on how much the 49ers can bother Matthew Stafford up front. Got the planes taken off here over Levi Stadium. They're not on the storm landing path. They're still taking off over. Normally when there's a storm, planes actually land over Levi's into San Jose. So that hasn't changed yet, although I swam in a storm surge this morning in San Francisco. But if the 49ers can get pressure on Stafford today, then you could see replays of the 2022 games, the 2021 regular season games. They got pressure on him in the NFC Championship. They didn't have the secondary that they have now. A big reason why the 49ers went out and signed Charvarius Ward was because of what the Rams did to them with Cooper Kupp in the 2021 NFC Championship game. And today they've got to deal with Kupp and Puka Nacua of the Rams. Kyron Williams is a really good running back. And then they've got good auxiliary receivers like Tutu Atwell as well. But it's all about the conditions and how Brock Purdy can handle the rain for the 49ers today. It's, with a wet football, Brock Purdy, just like any quarterback, essentially that's ever played the game, it's harder for those precision passes, the intermediates that are going up over the top of the linebackers in front of the defensive backs to hit. And when that's the case, the precise offense becomes harder to execute. That means that more mistakes can happen, more incompletions can happen, and it turns into a big game of controlling on the ground, running the ball. And that's, I think, why it's been so important for the 49ers to get Isaac Garendo available for this game. And he is available for the 49ers against the Rams. It's a big, big availability for San Francisco, Garendo, in this one. Given the fact that he unlocks the offense in a similar fashion as Christian McCaffrey, just because he has a great receiver background. He was a receiver before he was a running back. He switched positions in Wisconsin in college. I'm gonna walk by the Rams bench now. Hopefully we can sneak through here. I still don't see Jimmy. I think he went back in the locker room. I know a lot of 49ers fans tuning in for that. But this is the side of the Rams. And that's a look back at the suite tower here at Levi's Stadium. So Jordan Mason is on injured reserve. So Jordan Mason is not going to be playing. So Garoppolo and Sherman, the handshake. Garoppolo, the backup for the Rams, just in case you forgot. And the 49ers getting ready to play what they hope is their game of the season. They played their game of the season against the Bears. They've got to do it again now against the Los Angeles Rams. Why don't I step off to the field here and we'll see if we can find some of the guys doing their pregame workouts. I don't see Nick Bosa. He might have been on the field a little bit earlier. But these are initial warm-ups for San Francisco. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. And if you guys want me to stay with you for a little bit longer, maybe I'll step off to the side here, get out of everybody's way. I know it's a little loud with music, but if you have a couple questions, let's go for it. Kind of want to get this to 1,000 live viewers. That would be a record here for our pregame show. I don't think I've ever gotten 1,000 live viewers for a pregame show on the field. Just shows you there's some hype building back up with the 49ers. And Dre Greenlaw returning tonight, that is enormous, as the commenter says, for the 49ers. I think that Isaac Guerendo playing today is enormous, and if Nick Bosa plays, well, that will be even more massive for San Francisco. You know, it's a little quieter on this side of the field, so why don't we just walk back over past the Rams bench. The 49ers, they all come out of the club here. It used to be called BNY Mellon. It has some different corporate sponsor name, but they will make their way through here when the time comes. All right, yeah, it's much quieter on this side of the field. It's easier for me to hear my own thoughts. Shout out to my buddy Keith. Keith Berg says, what's up? He wants the 49ers to win today. Just got a text message from him. I am 6'5" and a half. Somebody's saying I'm 6'4". That's insulting. You're an inch and a half short there. All right, I'm in my spot now. Let's go. Will Debo turn it up tonight? Well, he has turned it up against the Rams before. We'll see how Debo Samuel does. He still has the straight line speed. I think it's fair to question some of the foot quickness for Debo Samuel. I don't think that's quite been there this season for him. But if you're looking at how Debo Samuel is going to perform, you have to also look at the stuff that Kyle Shanahan's scheming up. It was a good sign for the 49ers last week that they came back to the short game. Because Debo Samuel, speaking of Jimmy Garoppolo, he's in the house. He was the perfect receiver for Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy had an elite quick release. He'd get the ball out of his hands, and then Debo Samuel would do his thing. Brock Purdy is throwing longer passes. The 49ers are not scheming the short game nearly well enough. They had the fewest screens up until 2 weeks ago. Kyle Shanahan, he watches the channel in all likelihood, so Kyle Shanahan started calling more screen passes, and I think that ultimately is going to set Debo Samuel up with more opportunities. Now we'll see what he does with them. We'll see if that short area quickness is what it needs to be for Debo Samuel, but I think that is definitely one of the big questions for the 49ers. It's a combination of putting Debo in the right positions where he's going to thrive, because if you're throwing less screen passes, he's never been a natural X receiver. He's not Brandon Ayuk, he's not Ricky Pearsall, not even George Kittle in terms of some of the man separation. Debo is Debo, and it's a certain style of offense that really fits with him, and I think the 49ers went back to starting to incorporate that last week. Maybe even against Buffalo, but it was snowing, so we couldn't really tell. They did throw 7 screen passes there, but we couldn't really tell if that was an overarching strategy. Against the Bears, it definitely was. And historically, against the Rams, the 49ers have gone to short passing. I still remember a game back in 2000 and I think it was 21. It might have been both the 21 and the 22 games. Even the 2020 game here at Levi's against the Rams, 49ers won all 3 of those. And Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback for all 3 of those games. And they went quick attack because Aaron Donald was on the other side. And with AD on the other side, they knew that they didn't have the guards to block Aaron Donald for long. There was a game here where Jimmy Garoppolo averaged 2.3 seconds from snap to release, which was the quickest time in the NFL all season. 2.3 seconds. So they got the ball out, bam, bam, bam. They had long drives. The game control was established by the pass, and then they pounded the Rams to death with the run game. But they had a consistent passing game that beat the pass rush. The Rams have retooled their pass rush. They got a lot of young guys that they've hit on picks. Jared Verse, Byron Young, all really good players. I think that a similar strategy as those past few years against the Rams, as last week against the Bears who had Montez Sweat, I think a similar strategy of attacking an aggressive pass rush with the short game could be in order for the 49ers. And if San Francisco does do that, then it could be a big Debo Samuel game. Yeah, one of those games is a 31-10 win for the 49ers. It was all good stuff. By the way, we are at 1,000 viewers. Let's celebrate 1,000. We hit 1K for the first time ever on a live game pregame show. So more people are watching the channel than ever before. I'll say one thing, we have more real subscribers than any other person covering the 49ers on YouTube. More real ones. We don't count fake subscribers around here. So it's been an honor to have all of you with me. Monty says he's eating a sandwich. Where are you having a sandwich, Monty? Let's continue our walk here behind the Rams warming up. Can I find Jimmy Garoppolo? No, I can't. I don't think any QBs are warming up right now. Niners are on the other side, so maybe we'll make our way back there, but it's more crowded. I want to get Richard Sherman on the show. I think that'd be cool. It's not raining right now. It's dry right now, but it's expected to rain over the first part of today's game. I would say over the first half or so, that's what the forecast calls for, some rain at that time. This also happens to be our longest pregame show ever. Again, we're by the Rams tunnel. And over toward the Thursday Night Football set. Greg Papa early on, he joined. That was fun. I always enjoy running into Greg, and today I had a mic ready for him. He wasn't holding the mic right, but I still think it helped the audio quality with Greg. These guys are going nuts. They're having a good time. They're even barking now. Sounds like Fresno State Bulldog or Georgia fans. Any team with a dog mascot, their fans tend to like barking. Step around the injury tent. All right, we're gonna go. Oh, there's Sherm. What's up, man? I'm live right now. I just want to say what's up.
Live!
Say what's up.
Back in Levi.
So you say hi to Jimmy. That was cool.
Yeah. Jimmy grew up. We're going to go into the floor and back. Man.
Oh, yeah. Nice seeing you, man. I promised we'd get him. All right. That's the end of the show. Talk to you guys soon.